Hello and welcome to Redpill Rundown. To be honest, I'm running out of video ideas. I keep a pretty busy schedule, but I always do one quick rundown a month, and I've done so since this whole thing started. I'm in my second year of doing so, and don't know if I'll have enough topics I feel confident enough to give a quick rundown on to last throughout 2020, but we'll see. That being said, one topic I feel pretty confident on is the concept of time management. In a normal day, I walk my dog morning, evening, and night, work 8 hours, lift weights for an hour or two, usually cooking and eating at home, with time left over to relax a bit and get 8 hours or so of sleep each night. How do I do this, and how can you fit more into your day? No worries, because here's your quick rundown on time management. The foundation for good time management is discipline, which is the foundation for doing a lot of things well in life, as I previously made note of at the end of my quick rundown on fitness. As I said before in that video, discipline has to be treated like a muscle. Just as you can't go from no lifting to deadlifting 500 pounds in one day, likewise you can't just go from having next to no discipline to having a ton of it. If you find yourself severely lacking discipline, start being disciplined with something small, like making your bed in the morning if it typically isn't, or having 4 cans of soda each week instead of 5. For that last example, you could slowly swap out soda for sparkling water, one week having 4 cans of soda and 1 of sparkling water, the next week 3 cans of soda and 2 of sparkling water, and so on. After you're not drinking soda regularly, you could do the same for switching from sparkling water to regular water. Again, this is just an example, but the key idea here is to slowly build up your discipline, as good time management will be difficult to accomplish without it. The next step is setting priorities. Often enough, we find that there are simply not enough hours in the day to do everything we want to do. Our needs and desires consistently outnumber the time we have to meet them. Therefore, your new disciplined self should establish priorities. First is to prioritize needs over desires and to prioritize them in an obviously logical ranking. For most of us, we need to work to make a living, need to get gas for the car, buy groceries, eat groceries, sleep, and so on. These things are more important than Netflix or Nintendo. Secondly, one must prioritize his desires. There may be a lot of different shows I want to watch, books to read, video games to play, but there isn't enough time to consume all of the desired media. There's different ways to tackle this issue. One method would be a straightforward ranking of which desires are the most desired, assuming other factors like cost are equal, and meeting each desire one by one, after meeting needs of course. Another method, which can be used in the case of desires of equal priority, is to cycle the desires. To put both of these methods into practice, we'll use streaming TV shows as an example. Let's say there are 3 different shows I want to watch. Using the first method, I can rank the shows by how much I want to watch them and simply watch the most desired show to completion, then the next, and so on. Using the second method, I could watch an episode or 2 of one show, then another couple of episodes of another show, and so on. You could do this to rank or cycle a combination of different entertainment mediums, like cycling movies and video games. You can also prioritize needs and desires by the month, week, and even by the day as far as what needs to be done, and then what desires can be partially or fully met in the time left over. After gaining discipline and prioritizing your needs and desires, the next objective to meet for time management fundamentals is planning ahead. In the morning of or the night before, you could start planning ahead by forecasting your day's schedule of needs and desires. This could be done in the simple slots of what needs to be done and what can be done in the morning, afternoon, and evening. After this becomes normal for you, you could expand to plan out your day by the hour. I typically plan out my day by 30-minute slots at this point. I wake up and have 30 minutes for morning hygiene and to put on some clothes and get breakfast ready, 30 minutes to walk my dog and then eat breakfast, then the commute to work, and so on. Then an hour or 2 at the gym depending on what I'm doing that day, 30 minutes to have a protein shake and walk my dog, 30 minutes to stretch and shower, an hour to cook and eat dinner, you get the idea. By planning ahead, it can also make for better prioritizing of those needs and desires. This may seem overwhelming, but just like building up discipline, start slow with some basic prioritizing and basic planning of your day, and work your way up as needed. As a side note, I may sometimes have a day where I have lots of free time and I can make a video like this in one day, but a lot of times I don't. And instead, separate out the video making process into multiple days, selecting the topic and making a script one night, collecting and editing pictures the next night, etc. I will also say I have a very high preference for staying organized, if that wasn't obvious. If you find that a simpler version of what I'm doing and recommending works for you, then it'd be logical to just keep doing what you're doing. The last piece of advice I'll give is to be realistic. If you plan ahead and estimate that your commute will be 30 minutes, but it consistently results in you getting to work or class late, then you need to adjust your plans accordingly. Better to overestimate the time it will take to do necessary things, and happily have some leeway when it takes less time, useful in cases where something later that day ends up taking up more time than you planned for due to circumstances outside of your control. Speaking of being realistic, start multitasking less. There's plenty of data that show humans are very bad at multitasking even though they think they rock at it. Don't study while also watching unrelated videos, don't listen to study music if it's actually distracting you with the lyrics, and so on. There are some exceptions, like the multitasking of visual and audible mediums while performing fairly automatic or routine tasks. This could be the multitasking of watching some videos while eating, though this can lead to overeating, or listening to a podcast while brushing your teeth or cooking dinner or while on a long drive. This whole video might be me overthinking, but hopefully it helps some of you guys out. Let me know if it does. That's your quick rundown. Links in the description. See you guys later.